Good morning, guys. Welcome to our microwave lecture series. This is our fifth one lecture related to the microwave active devices. From previous some lecture, we discussing about the active devices for the different kinds of microwave purposes, and today we are going to discuss about the another one, microwave oscillators, that is nothing but the magnetron. So let us start with the magnetron. First of all, I would like to just clarify about the topic. This topic is all about the magnetron. That means the different topics like that, the principle, their working, construction, operations, which is included in our syllabus. The all the points are completely included in this one lecture. So please be carefully see this video and clear your all the concept related with the magnetrons. So let us start the lectures. Magnetron, it is nothing but the one of the various high power microwave oscillators, and these microwave oscillator is forms the basis of many microwave radar transmitter systems. That means with the help of these magnetron, we are used different transmitter systems nowadays, which is helps to use in the microwave radars. That means it is one kind of the various high power microwave oscillators. In that magnetron, the microwave generator makes use of magnetic field for producing oscillations at a microwave frequencies. And these magnetron have the number of applications from the radar basis, and nowadays we are mostly use these microwave magnetron for in the different radar transmitters. These microwave magnetron are capable of furnishing megawatts of peak power in the centimeter wavelength range to the multimeter range. That means these wavelengths are extended down. These microwave wavelength which is extended down. So simply we can easily say that the megawatts of peak power, it is range of a centimeter, that means it is a lowest, and our another one lowest, it is that the millimeter range. That means the range of these wavelength is very small. So these magnetrons consist of some form of anode and cathode to operate it, and these cathode as well as this anode, which is normally used in the magnetic field, which is used in operate in the magnetic field, and this is normal to that electric field. So what about the magnetic field? The magnetic field, that means the due to that a magnetic field, it causes the electron emitted from the cathode to move in a curved path. That means the electrons which is generated from the magnetic field, the electrons which is emitted or generated from that magnetic field from the cathode, and they move in a curved path. The electron are moved in a curved path. Now in that case, the flux density of the magnetic field is sufficiently great, and these electrons are not strike the anode. We see already in the klystron. klystron, same like the structures. Okay, let us see once again. The flux density of the magnetic field is sufficiently great. What I say, the flux density of the magnetic field is sufficiently great, and the electrons which is causes due to that magnetic field are not strike on the anode, but it is returned to the cathode, and the anode current is cut off. Why it is cut off? Because the electrons are not going towards the anode. That's why the current was not generating there. That's why the anode is in a cut-off mode. Okay, guys, next one. From the magnetrons, the different categories are generated. In that first one, that is called as the negative resistance magnetron, cyclotron frequency magnetron, traveling wave magnetron. These three categories under the magnetrons. Let us see one by one. In negative resistance magnetron, it makes use of static negative resistance. What I say? It makes use of two static negative resistance, and these negative resistance are present in between two electrode plate. These negative static negative resistance is present between the two electrodes, and these electrodes have the anode. Now the second one, that is the cyclotron frequency magnetron. The cyclotron frequency magnetron, it is completely depend upon the synchronism between an alternating component of electric field and periodic oscillation of electron. The cyclotron frequency magnetron, what I say? The cyclotron frequency magnetron, it is depend upon the synchronism. And these synchronism in between the alternating component of electric field and periodic oscillation of electrons. And another one condition for this dependency manual, that is the electrons in direction parallel to that electric field. Electrons is in a direction of parallel to the electric field. So now the third one. What is the third one? That is called as the traveling wave electron. And these traveling wave magnetron, not the electron. The traveling wave magnetron, which is completely depend upon interaction of a moving electron. With a traveling electromagnetic field. Electrons. Now what I say, once again we just clear our third one categories, that is called as the traveling wave magnetron. And these traveling wave magnetron, which is depend upon the interaction of electrons with a traveling electromagnetic field, as well as the traveling with a constant velocity. And this velocity is nothing but the angular or linear velocity. So it is simply, what is the meaning of traveling? Traveling means the travel of electron. So it is easy to understand or easy to remember that things. The traveling wave magnetron, which is depends upon the interactions of moving electrons, which is traveling with the electromagnetic field in a constant velocity. These velocity are a linear velocity, as well as these are the angular velocity, any one of both them. So what about the frequency ranges, or what is about the frequency operations? Now let us see one by one. The the frequency of operation for a negative magnetron, the frequency of operation of negative, this one negative resistance magnetron, which is up to 500 mc, which is up to, look at, just write down here, which is at 500 mc. Okay, now another one, the range of cyclotron frequency as well as the traveling wave magnetron, which is falls beyond 100 mc, which is in between that the 100, sorry, not between, beyond that the 100 mc. And these most modern magnetron which under the category of traveling wave magnetrons. Okay guys, so it is just about the categories which is related with that, the negative cyclotron, traveling, such kinds of the magnetrons. Now let us go with the constructions. Okay, so construction features of the cavity magnetron, it is one of the important aspects. Now in that we can easily say that the magnetrons, it is simply diode and is usually of a cylindrical construction, which is in a cylindrical constructions and applying a radial electric field. And here we can see easily the axial magnetic field and an anode structure which is a permanent cavities. They will look like that, that is anode, that is the anode cavities, that is the anode cavities. So simply, so now in this diagram, see, this diagram is nothing but the CS, that means of the cross section of a hole and slot magnetron, hole and slot magnetron. So in that, the cylindrical cathode, which is surrounded by the anode, cylindrical cathode which is surrounded, look like light here, this one, which is in a red highlighters, this is in a cylindric cathode and which is surrounded by an anode. This is a anode plates, okay. That means simply we can say easily this cathode is surrounded by the anode in our general language. Okay, so and in that the cavities, this is the one kind of the cavities, look like that is cavities, look like this at the cavities. So the radial DC electric field will be exist in here. The magnetic field and this magnetic field, due to the horseshoe type of magnets which is used in a conjugation, and this having the magnetron produces axial magnetic field was here, and the magnetic lines of force which is passing through the cathode and the surrounding internal action in that space. So once again I can repeat just last one sentence. What I say, the magnetic field due to horseshoe-like structures type of the magnets, and these horseshoe type of magnets is used in conjugation having the magnetron, and these magnetron produces an axial magnetic field. And the magnetic lines of force, okay, just a moment, diagram was be sleepy here. So the magnetic lines of force, passing through the cathode, and the surrounding of interaction space and the surrounding of the interaction phase. Therefore, the magnetic lines are at a right angle to the structure of a cross section. These are the right angle of that cross sections. Look that here like that. So it is just about to clarify the what is the magnetic field worked is here, and how it is produced due to produce that of the horseshoe like the magnets. So the magnetic field is also DC. We know very well one factors. The magnetic field is also a DC, and these DC, that means since it is a perpendicular to the plane of a radial electric field, it is perpendicular to that of plane of radial electric field, and thus the magnetron, which is referred as a crossed field device. Magnetron is referred as a it is referred as a crossed field devices. So the output of the magnetron, which is taken from one cavities, look like here. The magnetron which is comes from the, or which is taken from the one of the cavities, that means these are taken from one of the coaxial line, which is comes from the one of the coaxial line, and this is through a waveguide which is completely depending on the power and the frequency. So here one point we can noted, the output coupling of a loop, leads to cavity resonator to which a waveguide is connected. So from that we can see in the diagram the output of a magnetron which is taken from the one cavity, and here one of the point we can noted here, the output coupling loop leads to a cavity resonator, and in that waveguide is connected, and the whole output, that means these output, the whole output from the magnetron is taken via the waveguide, which is very important factor was here. And the material used for the anode, is generally a copper. So another one point related with that, the resonator, we can introduce another one point was here, that is the resonator cavity. Where is this? Just a moment, waveguide depending on the power, frequency. Just a moment, regardless. Okay, here is the last point. There are the number of resonant cavity in a magnetron. Yes, we know very well why, because we just see in this point the loops which is related with that, the anode cavities, it is simply that is the resonator cavities, and in that the resonator cavity, that means in a magnetron the number of resonator cavity was present, therefore this is equal number of resonator frequency are made up of oscillators. So it is really important for our MCQ purposes. There are a number of resonant cavities in a magnetron, and therefore it must have an equal number of resonant frequencies or mode of oscillator, and the mode that is used must be self-consistent. This is very important. The mode, that is meaning of the mode of oscillations. The mode of oscillations that is used must be self-consistent, and we can easily explain by using the one of the example here. For example, it is not possible for 8 cavity magnetrons, the most practical type, to employ a mode in which the phase difference between adjacent anode is 30 degree, and the total phase difference, it is nothing but the how much cavities we are used, 8 cavities, and what is the phase difference, that is the 30, that means 30 multiply 80, what is this? This is the 240 degree, that is the 240 degree. That means first anode pole piece it out of phase from itself of 120. It's a general. What I say, the first anode pole piece is out of phase from itself by 120 degree. Now the smallest phase in that 8 cavities, the smallest phase difference between two adjacent pole piece. What I say, the smallest phase here, look at that. The smallest phase difference between the two adjacent pole pieces obtained with an 8 cavity magnetrons, it is a 45 degree. Why? Just to calculate. Okay. And this is nothing but the 45 degree, and we can write like that the pi by 4. And these smallest phase difference which provided some informations related with the overall phase shift of that magnetrons or of that cavities, it is a complete 360, or simply it is called as the 2 pi radian. It is just called as the 2 pi radians, and it is also a self consistent as a required. So guys, details about the pi mode we cannot be clearly included in our syllabi, so that's why we are not going to see these pi mode. What is the pi mode? Pi by 4 mode, pi by 2 modes. So it is not necessary. So let's talk about the pi by 4. Let's talk about the pi by 4. This pi by 4 mode, it is a Seldom mode. It is a Seldom modes, and these Seldom mode is used in a practices, or it is simple called as the nowadays we can mostly use the pi by 4 mode. Pi by 4 mode, because this is a give a large characteristics for understanding the magnetrons. What is the characteristics of that magnetrons and how it is used in the different applications is. So and after that, the another one important mode we can use that is called as the pi mode, but in that the pi mode is maximally used than the pi by 4. So guys, it is all about the magnetrons. So I hope it is a clear idea regarding to that the principle, its a working, cavity, magnetron explanations. So all about this is the magnetrons. So I hope you can easily getting the idea related with the magnetrons. That is the category of that magnetrons. 3 kinds of category the magnetrons. First one, that is called as the negative resistance magnetrons, cyclotron frequency magnetrons, and last one, that is the traveling wave magnetrons. And after that, we can see easily the depends the cyclotron frequency magnetrons, which is depend on the different parameters. Similarly, traveling wave magnetrons, it is also depends upon the different magnetrons. After that, we can easily getting about the idea of frequency oscillations, which is have the 500 MC for the negative resistance magnetrons, and the remaining 2 categories, the 100 MC beyond the frequency oscillations. And after that, we can see the construction features and their explanations regarding with the cavity magnetrons. In that diagram, we can see the cathode, which is surrounded by the anodes, and here are the different kinds of the here the number of anode cavities was present, and the magnetic lines of magnetic force, which is completely perpendicular to the plane of that electric field, and the output which is taken from the one of the anode cavities, and this output is nothing but the magnetrons. After that, we can see the different kinds of mode which is used by the simplify the mathematical relations, as well as the discussing about the characterizations of that the modes we can easily understood in that lecture. So I hope this is a very easy one topic related with these microwave active devices. So guys, I hope you can easily understood these lectures. So thank you so much. and enjoy your day.